It's a new dawn, it's a new day. Some things are different, but nothing has changed. Still got my number, still got my name. Tell everybody I'm back in the game. This is my time, faster than ever, hungry and I'm going to come back and take what is mine, bigger and better. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. Some things are different, but nothing has changed. Still got my number, still got my name. Tell everybody I'm back in the game. Saddle, cut to the chase. I ain't somebody who stays in one place. Ready to go, I'm coming to play. You better know I still got something to say. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. Some things are different, but nothing has changed. Still got my number, still got my name. Tell everybody I'm back in the game. Never lay down, never give up. I am a fighter. I'm a fighter. I'm a survivor. Even if I fall, I'll be up again, 'cause I'm a fighter. I am a fighter. I'm a survivor. Never lay down, never give up. I am a fighter. couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, cause you know that I was born for this. I was born for this. Never met a match I couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, 'cause you know I was born. I tell you I was born for this. Ain't nothing gonna stop me now. I was born for this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to the Irish Hills of Michigan, the Five Finger States and all that good stuff, and the Finger Lakes. And in the middle of just outside of Detroit is this exciting racetrack, and that is the Michigan International Speedway. It is the site, believe it or not, round 20. Round 20 tonight for the Northwest Racing Series. For the Cup cars, we're ready to go 200 miles, 100 laps around this 2-mile tri-oval here in the virtual Michigan State. Good evening. I am Wesley Outland. Justin Prince is not here with us tonight, and joining us is John Mustian Jr. John is going to be here for the next couple of weeks. He joins us on the Truck Series on Thursday, and of course on Sim 500. And John, now finally, you get to experience the excitement that is the Northwest Cup Series. What's up, brother?
Yes, indeed. Hey, Wesley, how you doing, pal? It's going to be nice to actually be in here now and see what you're always talking about on these Thursday night broadcasts we do. You know, because look, if you can see my face and the look of confusion sometimes when you're like, yeah, so-and-so had a great race Monday night, right? I'm like, I don't know, but now I will.
Now you will. Yes, you will. Yes, for sure. And we are getting ready for the events. Of course, Charles Wooten is in the production studio for Rocket Media and LSRTV running the board for our iRacing coverage. Let's take a look at weather conditions as we get you set for tonight at Michigan. Bottom right of the monitor, there it is, 83 degrees, wind speed at 8 miles an hour, track temp. For the first time in a long while, John, we do an iRace. It's not in the 120-plus degree mark. It's 111
Give it
degrees.
A minute. Just give it a minute.
Partly cloudy skies, but, of course, that's going to be exciting to watch here. We're going to go 200 miles, 100 laps, the distance here tonight. And, of course, John, you got kind of an idea on sets of tires, fuel window, and all that good stuff as drivers' meeting has concluded, and here comes Walla Walla, Washington's Kevin Smith up first to qualify.
Yes, sir. I talked to some of the guys down in the pits prior to the race. The setup that most of the setups they're going to be using tend to go to the tight side, which means this car's not going to want to turn as much as they go through the run. We're looking at about 42 laps on fuel tonight. So, we'll split this race up into a couple good chunks here. Get a couple of hopefully green flag races here. Oh, I'm sorry. It's fixed sets in this series. My apologies. Thank you, Charles, for that heads up. Definitely going to be a fun one to watch still, though.
Well, right now, Kevin Smith is on track. We'll see how he goes in qualifying. You see him riding all the way up to the top of the safer wall barrier, coming out of turn number 4 through the tri-oval. And obviously, they can bonsai below the apron. That's allowed. He stays on track, though. And right now, 39.826. It's good enough for 9th in qualifying. Going to have to definitely pick it up there for Kevin Smith. As right now, believe it or not, Koraz on the top of the board. And as you mentioned, John, in our pre-production meeting for coming on the air, he picked up a big super late model win over the weekend.
Yes, sir. He came up a checkered flag over there in the South Sound 200 at South Sound Speedway up there in Washington State. And I tell you what, it's awesome. It's awesome getting a checkered flag in real life, and you can see it on his face in the pictures he posted.
Yeah, seeing these real race car drivers compete, and of course in iRacing as well, No stranger, of course, is Cole Raz, Caden Anderson, Dan West Jr., Devin West, and many more. BJ Tedrick, just some of the names of drivers that are real racers and, of course, iRacers. Here's Dan Lowther. I believe Dan Lowther, also a real competitor. He drives that Chevrolet Camaro, number 63 machine. We'll see what he can do on the clock.
Looking good and smooth right here. I tell you what, this track, it's tricky. I mean, you've got a lot of places to pass on this track, but with this car, you know, as we watch these guys qualifying right now, of course, out there by themselves, but under power during the race, you watch these guys, you can watch 4 or 5 guys pass several cars on the outside easy if they get a good run going down through the turns. I love Michigan, though, man. I've been doing a lot of racing this week in Michigan in the B and C car. That's the Xfinity and the Truck Series. And been having a blast doing it. So this, I'm looking forward to this A race tonight.
Well, right now, Dan Lowther working his way 15th overall currently right now. We'll see if he can try to improve on that. He comes down to the start-finish line, down below the apron, as I mentioned. And he will climb, will he? Yeah. Couple of spots up to 12th as he just put down that lap. Here comes now Billings, Montana. Jeff Stabnow, LSRTV CRN 4K Ford. Mustang GT on the racetrack there.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Generally speaking, your second lap's not going to be quite as fast as your first, but I have seen some guys squeak out a faster second lap. We'll see what Jeff can do here. As it stands right now, he's got a time good enough to put him in 14th.
Below the apron, here comes now Stabnow. Pass, start, finish. Will he climb?
Yes, he will.
Yes, he will. Wow. Oh, wow. From
nice lap.
way to third.
See, all I got to do is say something, and these guys will make me look like an idiot.
The second lap is his best lap, actually. Third
It is,
best
that's
there
what I'm
for the
saying,
driver.
man.
Jeff Stabnow just turned a 39.45, tied with Devin West also. Hey, by the way, you want a quick statistic? Listen to this real quickly. 39.43, the pole. 3 straight drivers, John. 39.45. Devin West, Jeff Stabnow, and Dan West Jr.
It's crazy, right? I mean, that's some great times out there right now on track. And I'm sorry, what was that about a caution?
BJ Duvall on the racetrack.
Oh, come on, man. I'm hoping one of these days that BJ will be able to respond back. I haven't been on the mic with BJ yet. I've talked to him in our group chats, but I've seen him racing a couple times. I've actually been on track with him a couple times, but haven't spoken to him. Interesting looking car. What is that? Pink and black Toyota?
Yes. Yeah, it's his famous colors. Outlaw.
He doesn't run the truck
Outlaw
races
boss.
on Thursday.
He tries to whenever he can, but for the most part, he ran the Cup car.
I got you.
And stepped away to compete in that World of Outlaw Dirt Late Model Series National Championship, and I think it was one of the top 15 best in the nation racing in it. Here comes the Camry. Duvall. Across the line. Where will he end up? 20th. Yeah, he's mid-pack.
39.9.
Yeah. Going to be in the snakes patch, as they call it there. So, any more takers in qualifying here at Michigan right now? We've got a total of already, I think it's close to 30 entries. 30 cars in attendance. And right now, Duvall is 20th.
See what he does on his second lap here. We know that you can get a faster lap on your second lap. Let's see if he does. I don't know. He got pretty loose.
That lost him right there. I really think when he bonsaied off that corner there and he lost some momentum. Well, he climbed to 20th. That's an improvement.
Yeah.
Okay, Will Duvall, no more laps for you.
Well, he's going to do something that I usually do when I'm
Just stay out there and practice?
Yeah, when I don't have very much time in the seat in a car with a fixed setup, I'll stay on track during qualifying after I finish my qualifying session and just run it out just to see what I can figure out of the track. So it's a smart move. A lot of guys do that.
Of course, yesterday, after the weather delay, was the Firekeeper Casinos 400 at Michigan, and Kevin Harvick, Happy Harvick from Bakersfield, California, got off of a 65 race winless streak and put the car in victory lane. And in doing so, he's in the playoffs.
Yes, he is. They've advanced the session to
go to the race.
That's going to be our qualifying. Cole Raz takes the pole.
How about that? Carrying all that momentum from winning the pole at South Sound, winning the race at South Sound Speedway the other night. And now he's ready to go from the pole here for Michigan. Let's give you your starting lineup as Cole Raz, Devin West, couple of real racing hot shoes on the pole. Ready to go in row 1. Row 2, Jeff Stabnow, Dan West Jr. And as I mentioned, 2nd through 4th, all closely matched. Aaron Cooper, Daytona runner-up for the 71. And Toby Ritters, I call him Bug Eyes. Toby Ritters, Clifford of the 23. Chris White, series champion of last year in the 6 to the outside. Kevin Smith for the 00. The top 10, Brian Barnes in the 4. Brian Reynolds in the 12. That's your top 10 here at Michigan.
Inside row 6, Jaden Ledbetter in the 36 car. Frank Harris is outside in the 11. Inside row 7, Ryan Bloom, that 25 car. To his outside, John Ottenbacher in the 89. Inside row 8, Justin Yee, 64. To his outside, Dan Lowther in the 63. Remind me to tell you what went through my mind just now. Sean Preissman at 46. Inside row 9. To his outside, Carl Burke in the 3 car. And rounding out your top 20, Brett Johnson, that 7 car. To his outside, BJ Duvall in the 85.
Moving on to row number 11, Blake Peterson in the number 9, the man that's the all-time winner this year on the Cup Series. To the outside, the Catman, James Vining in the 333. Row 12, Casey Garber, the 94. To the outside, Stephen Paulison in car number 58. Row 13 on the grid will find the 028 of William Fletcher. B.J. Tidrick, the Montana 200 winner, to the outside of the 72. Troy Daggett in the 99. Row 14 to the outside, Chris Camary in the 15. And the final row will find Dana Rogers by himself in the 07. And that's the starting lineup. Perfect transition to the end of the grid music. Perfect transition of the cars rolling off pit road. Pace car rolls.
Perfect,
come on,
all the way around.
Come on, pace car. And we are ready to give them one preliminary lap before they do take green. John, what do you think? A lot of caution flags. What you take of this car here at Michigan?
Well, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have not observed very many Cup car races at Michigan this week. I think it's going to be we got a good bunch of guys here, and the fixed setup is stable. Rather, it's not as loose as some of the other fixed setups they've got with this car. I don't know. I think we'll have a good race, man. How about you?
I think we'll have that anomaly of green, yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, and then we finally settle in for a green flag run, and then we'll have that green flag run to take us all the way to the finish. Yeah, that's what I think.
Well, we'll find out here shortly as the cars are stacked up 2 by 2 going down the backstretch. Lights off the pace car, meaning we're going to go ahead and get that green flag next time by. And I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to a good race. I think we're going to have a good race here. I think you might be right. We might see a couple of quick cautions, but I think these guys will be able to get their heads on straight and get this figured out pretty quickly for a nice green flag run. I swear, y'all, my mouth will start working probably towards the end of the race.
We're ready to go. It's round number 20 of the Northwest Racing Series Cup cars. Just a few more races remain until a run for the championship in the playoffs. The field is set with Cole Raz, Devin West alongside Jeff Stabnow, Dan West Jr., son and father on row 2. Field comes to the green flag. We're underway. 200 miles, 100 laps, 2 miles at Michigan International Speedway. And ladies and gentlemen, you have a virtual race. They'll send it off into turn number 1 with Raz, getting the jump on everybody for the whole shot.
Good start right there. These cars will wiggle a little bit on cold tires. as you'll see them start to, stab now a little out of shape right there. He was trying to stay off the car of Dan West when he came up that turn, so he's going to lose a little bit of momentum right there. Give up a couple of spots, it looks like, to the West guys.
Field working their way into turn 3, off of turn 4, coming through the tri-oval. And right now, first lap in, 99 to go. It's Raz out in front. Stab now, falling back fast. He's already in 7th or 8th position. There's Dan West Jr. coming after Devin West for 2nd. He's got Aaron Cooper behind him. Barnes up on the top side out of 2.
Barnes up on the top side too, and like you mentioned, Stab now dropping back from his 3rd place starting spot all the way back to 8th place right now. Probably just trying to get a handle on this car. Like I said, with cold tires, this car is going to be a little bit loose. But as these laps tick up and they get about 4 or 5 into them, the pressures will be stabilized in the tires, the temperatures will be stabilized, and they'll be able to start driving this car the way they want to. Now, I want to touch on something real quick. What I love about this track, Wesley, is going down this front stretch, you're going to see speeds approaching 199 miles an hour, 197 in that neighborhood. And then they have to get on the binders a little bit, get down into this corner, and get that car to turn left. And then back up on that back straightaway, you'll see, again, speeds approaching 200, right in the 195 to 198 area. And that's a lot of speed to carry into a corner where you got to get it woed down to about 170.
Yeah, especially for a fendered car, no doubt about it, watching them working their way around Michigan. And you got to remember, back in the day, Michigan also used to run the Indy cars.
Yes, they did.
And that used to be one of the fastest races of speed for Indy cars when they used to run here at Michigan. So, no doubt about it right now. See the telemetry on board with Dan West Jr. from the rear cockpit camera. And he is picking up 195 to 197 and then dropping back down. And all the while, it's Cole Raz leading them in the early laps. West family right there behind him. Aaron Cooper, nice, comfortable in the 4th spot. Chris White there, top 5. Oh, look at Toby Ritter's there to the inside, looking for 5th.
Yep, Ritter's up to the inside now, trying to get that spot away from him. And I'll tell you what, don't forget, just a few years ago, I don't remember, what was it, like maybe 2015 or 16, somewhere in there, we were seeing speeds of 215 miles an hour out of these fendered Cub cars, if you will. Not the next-gen cars, but the prior version of that. I believe the Chevy SS's and even the very first generation of the ZL1 Camaros and Ford Mustangs were getting 215, 216 miles an hour down through the turn. They were averaging 208 around this track.
Yeah, if you remember, the new engines on the next-gen cars, believe it or not, have a stricter downforce and also more of a restrictor plate without a restrictor plate on it, per se, to keep the engines toned down and not using that full capacity as it has before. Field goes back into turn number 1 and 2 with Raz the leader. There you see him. And all the while, everybody holding their line, top 5, single file. They work their way to the safer wall barrier to the back straightaway. Ritters and Stab now climbing up the position. And Barnes and Smith and Harris trying to hold off just a gaggle of traffic behind them. For the most part, top 5, top 6, single file as they work all 4.
Coming off 4 right now, you can see them pretty much all squished together right there, single file. But as we say that, it looks like the 6 car of White going to duck down there to the inside as they come across the line, try to take that spot away, maybe. Not going to do it without help, though. That's something you're going to notice. These cars, they're going to need a little bit of help when they want to make some passes here, get somebody on that back bumper. You see the 71 squeeze up in the picture right there. What I am noticing right now, Wesley, is Raz is not running away with this race right now. He's got everybody pretty much right there off his back bumper, maybe a 0.2 of a second lead. And watch this. Here goes White. One more time, going to try and draft down the backstretch, dive down into turn 3 right here. But here's what's going to kill him, kill his momentum, as he's down on the inside. He's got to, kind of get out of the throttle a little bit to get that car to turn. Whereas the guys on the outside can just keep their momentum up by staying in the throttle.
All of that going on as they work their way past start finish line. White down to the inside. The West family up on the top. Right there hugging it with Cole Raz. Now they reel each other in. Here comes down Dan West Jr. peeking down to the inside. He's looking for the lead now off of turn number 2.
That's the place to start the pass, but he wasn't quite close enough. Oh, we got cars out of shape back there.
Ottenbacher turns. Ottenbacher got turned. I think he might have collected maybe some more cars, but they're actually keeping going.
Yeah, they stayed
caution.
Stayed straight, stayed green. That was great driving right there.
Billings, Montana, John Auenbacher. Auenbacher got a little bit loose. He falls all the way now into the top 20, but no caution. And that's one of those things, John, that we'll watch here as we watch this battle with the top 5, 6, 7, 8 cars again. The thing is this, there's plenty of room where if you do lose control of your car, like the runoff room on the back straightaway, you could possibly try to correct it and fix it and get going again.
If you catch the fact that you're out of control in time. And what I mean by that is a lot of guys are so fixated on saving that car that they get past the point of no return as far as keeping it off the wall. There's a limit there. I've seen some guys plenty of times, you know, they feel the car getting out of shape. They try to save it, try to steer back this way, steer back that way, but never touch the brakes. By the time they realize it's time to hit the brakes, it's too late. But in this case, he's able to save it, keep it going the right way, and we stay in the green. And I'm noticing something here. I don't know if you picked up on it either, but White just cannot get around the West boys.
Yeah, he's got boxed in, and in doing so, he's allowed Ritters and Cooper, and even Stabnow for that matter, to run him back down. And even Kevin Smith has jumped into this fray. They were all single file on the top side of the racetrack, and that allowed the entire second pack to run them back down on the front pack. And now we're going to see who's going to jump out of line here. If you need to jump out of line, you might need to just stay and ride right now. We're 10 laps into this race, 10 laps in, 90 to go. And so far, with the exception of the little hiccup by John Auenbacher, it has been a clean start with Cole Raz, the man, leading the opening laps.
Now, this is going to be a classic case of something that I call fixed setup issues. What I mean by that is that these guys are all running the exact same setup, and it makes for very, very difficult passing. The passing that you're going to see start taking place is guys that are getting by guys that have worn their tires down. That's really the only time you see passing here. Watch Stabnow now. He's going to duck down to the inside of the 23 car there of Clifford.
Toby Ritters.
Thank you. Toby Ritters, Clifford, as you call him. And he's going to try and make this pass over and over. And all that's going to do is wear those right sides down. And eventually, Jeff's going to wind up losing spots because his tires are getting worn out.
Meanwhile, Field working their way off the back straightaway for the time being. Here comes Stabnow, as John mentioned, trying to stay on the bottom. Got Cooper with him. Kevin Smith also helping out Ritter, so it's 3 against 1. And Stabnow holding his on. And I'll tell you this as well, he's side drafting also, John. I don't think we mentioned that a moment ago, but he's side drafting. That side draft is allowing Stabnow to now clear him and pull up in front of him. And now Ritters will try to return the favor, but he can't get him there.
That was a fantastic side draft, and I tell you what, I'm amazed that it worked that well. It usually doesn't, but hey, again, I don't drive this car anymore. I just when it first came out, man, I tried a few races, and it doesn't suit my driving style at all. So I'm learning as we watch at what you can do with this car. I did run an Xfinity race, a long one last night here at Michigan, and it was just so hard to pass. It really, really was. Stabnow made it look really easy, didn't he?
He certainly did. And I think we'll see a lot of side drafting, tandem drafting, if you will, shades of like Daytona or Talladega, or even Atlanta for that matter. You'll see here tonight at Michigan. But again, this is one of those racetracks that, for the most part, intermediate, cookie cutter, 2.5 or 2 mile racetrack. You've got the precision banking, if you will. That's something that we ain't really talked about. Is a little Incan blinking nod visits Toby Ritters. But other than that, John, there's so many different lanes that you can choose to race on. And if they're brave enough, you can see them stick it 4, maybe even 5 wide.
Oh, yeah. We can see 5, 6 wide coming down through the trial. I saw it a lot last night towards the end of the race. It just gets really crazy coming off of turn 4. Guys trying to get spots here and there, and you'll see it. You'll see it, maybe not right now, but towards the end of this race with maybe 20 to go, guys doing insane moves coming down to that trial.
$200 miles, 100 laps here tonight at the exciting Michigan International Speedway. And again, the playoffs are nearing the close. Obviously, you know, you got to get this regular season out of the way, and there is opportunity for so many chances to try to climb in points. And And obviously, John, if you want to be able to be there at the end and make a run for a championship, as we got a caution. Caution is out. Lap 15 of the race, working lap 16 as they come through the tri-oval. Yellow flag waves. We'll find out what happened.
BJ Duval.
And believe it or not, our producer called it. He said the first caution would probably be Will Duval, BJ Duval, and look at this. Oh my, what happened to, what is he doing? I don't understand. What is he doing? What in the world? What?
I think he has
This isn't a stunt show.
No, I think he was having some issues there. Lost picture.
You know what? He's got that VR headset. You're exactly right.
That's what that looked like, because I've had this exact issue. When you lose VR, you lose everything. And let's see, going through turn 1 and 2, it looked like he developed the issue early on right there, because he was way off speed, up high. Had to let some guys go by him, and then coming off of 2, he just turned left because he knew there was nobody down there.
Well, the caution is out. Single car accident.
And he has retired.
If our producer Charles was a betting man, he would have already won the Mega Billions.
I'm taking that boy to Vegas.
Well, we're 16 laps into this. Obviously, the racing has been fairly interesting up in the front, but still a long way to go. John, do you think anybody's thinking pitting right now?
Well, they get 4 sets of tires for 100 laps, so I'd come down pit road, grab some tires, grab some juice. Here we go. Everybody's coming except for, I thought Ritters was going to stay out, but he came in last second.
When we say everybody, everybody's coming down the pit road.
Yes, they are. Where'd Cole Raz go?
Right there.
How did he lose the lead?
Well, he did somebody not pit? Yeah. BJ Tidrick and Dana Rogers did not pit.
No, but I was still showing scoring. Before that, had Dan West in front of me. Did we miss a lead change somewhere?
I think Dan West passed him on the pit road,
Okay.
in the pits. Yeah. But it doesn't matter because Cole Raz came in first and exit first. But
Yes,
he'll
he
be
did.
joining drivers like Dana Rogers and BJ Tidrick, Ryan Bloom. Kevin Smith, it looks like, also did not pit. So.
Fascinating.
Fascinating.
And look,
Anyhow.
man, we had a couple guys try that last night in the Xfinity race, and it does not work out for guys to stay out, man. We'll see what happens with the Cup car. Of course, it's a completely different vehicle, different driving characteristics and whatnot. But you know, legend and history have said that when you got a guy with old tires and you got a guy with new tires behind him, the guys with new tires usually win.
17 laps of 100. Anyone else coming to the pits? I don't think so.
Also, we had 1, 2, 3, looks like 4, 5 guys went 2 tires only.
Yeah, that's good strategy, right?
Again, I don't know. I wish I could answer your questions, good sir, but unfortunately, I've not driven this car. Now, I will say this. In the trucks, yes, it helped out quite a bit. If you're running a fixed setup, which is notoriously on the tight side, doesn't want to turn left very often, giving yourself some, 2 tires on one side versus the other will help the car turn a little bit better. But I don't like to do it myself because it also tends to bite me in the butt, stuff like that. But that's just me. I'm a give me 4 tires now guy.
4 tires, fuel. Literally, I heard you click the button. It's beep. We heard it. By the way, we're coming up on a 20 laps of this race, and I think we're getting ready for the restart. We're also coming up on the top of the hour. So let's stop real quick. We'll pause for network identification for Michigan International Speedway. This is the Northwest Racing Cup Series. iRacing on LSRTV and on CRN.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Welcome back to Michigan International Speedway. Well, normally, John, it's 10 till the hour, 10 after the hour minimum. So, but anyhow, welcome back. We've got Northwest Racing Series Cup cars at Michigan, and they are ready to go for the restart after the first caution of the Geico restart zone. Green flag goes in the air. Oh, my goodness, that did not look good in the back.
That was ugly. Somebody missed a shift or something right there and really kind of boggled everybody up. It looked like it might have been Smith, maybe, that missed a shift right there. I don't know, but that's going to let Tidrick and Bloom get out to a pretty good cushion, which is going to help them a little bit, because by the time the guys with 2 and 4 tires get by everybody else, you know, well, I say that now, but look at how fast West is catching these guys.
Not only Devin West, but Jeff Stabnow. He's right up in that conga line, too.
Yep.
He's right there with him. He's following him.
Yeah. Stabnow's back there at 12, but you got White here. You got the West boys. I mean, man, these guys are just sitting ducks. It must feel like to them.
Standing on top of the world.
Now,
they
Chris
work
White
off the corner.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to walk on. Dan West Jr., he's got 4 tires. He's going to take the lead here. Let's see. It looks like Devin took 4 tires and Chris White took 4 tires.
Just outside of Detroit, Michigan, we're at Brooklyn, Michigan, the virtual Michigan International Speedway. Round 20 of the play of the regular season. And I can just say this, John, you follow the trucks as well. 3 wide, here you go. Here's a chance at 4 wide stab now. He thought about it. He thought about it, but he gets up and tucks in line behind Bloom. Clifford on the bottom. Remember, you can drive the apron as well.
Oh, yeah. And you can actually get into one that low. Deep. Getting into one that low with fresh tires is great. I mean, it's going to stick. You know it's going to stick. If this had been 5 or 6 laps from now, we'd have seen some issues right here. But I guess this answers our question, though, Wesley. You know, staying out, was it a good idea? Nah.
Oh, negative. Negative grasshopper.
Taking 2 tires didn't work out either, as Brian Barnes is falling back. Raz has fallen back. Raz is back at 16th, man. Brian
you up and spit you out, if you will. Look at all these good cars now just flying by the cars that stayed on the racetrack with just, what, less than 19, 20 lap old tires?
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's a difference.
Yeah, and I mean, look, you can see it. Look how tight that car is pushing right now. That car right in front of Smith as we're watching, that's Tidrick. And he's just, his car is not turning. It doesn't have any of the grip the rest of these guys do right now. It's a rolling roadblock.
Tidrick and Bloom both stayed out, and you can just see how fast that these cars are just, even James Vining swallowing them up. 3 wide, here we go.
Don't forget Smith stayed out too, so he's kind of right there in that same, you know, box with those 2 guys.
That's right.
So Smith gets right back up the bumper of the, who is that right there in that blue car?
Oh, that's Ryan Bloom, the number 25.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, sir. 2021 ARCA Northwest Series Esports champion. Just some of his accolades. Accolades, successes, virtual successes. Troy Daggett in the 99, the Haviland colors, man. That's a sharp-looking color on the Haviland ride right there. It definitely stands out from the, you know, the color blue, if you will.
Yeah, definitely.
Very unique. I love the gold numbers.
It's an interesting paint scheme, that's for sure.
For the longest time, he drove a 51 car. Now he's in the 99. Requested a number change midway through the year. But as I mentioned, though, John, you know, man, we're coming up on, what, 4 races left to go in the regular season. And then we got to run for the championship in the playoffs. It resets everything.
Yeah, I don't have a schedule in front of me or point standings or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be, what, 4 or 5 races from now?
Yeah, tonight we're at Michigan, obviously, and then of course we go to Richmond next week, and then we've got Watkins Glen, and then Darlington, and then we have Labor Day off, and then after Labor Day, we come back on the 12th, and it's the round of 12 for the playoffs.
What I'm hearing is there's a bunch of opportunities for guys to lose points and gain points here in the next few weeks.
So you got to have the best of 18 races. You have to have a minimum of 18 races ran. And you have to have at least ran 18 races. Obviously, this is round 20, so some drivers have already collected their 18 races, some have not. You have to have at least a win and a minimum of 15 completed or 18 races, and then they're going to take your 15 best races to determine the way the top 12 will shuffle out. Obviously, you don't have to have a win. A win helps, but you don't have to have a win. My producer's correct. Charles is right, John. A win helps, but you just got to be consistent, and you got to have the most points if you don't have a victory. So, and by the way, there's guys that have wins, John. They might not have the 18 races to qualify, and they're not going to go to the playoffs because they do not have it. Look at them, four wide.
Oh,
four
boy.
wide. Peterson, Smith.
Look at the 9
razzle dazzle. Look out.
Peterson was wicked loose right there. That was weird. Still 3 wide, going down into turn 1 here, it looks like. Oh, no.
You see Lake Peterson in that 9 car, by the way, John. We were talking about him. He's the man that's pretty much dominated this year in the Cup Series. He has 8 wins, 7 poles within 15 races. This is his 16th start tonight. Got a 23-point lead over Cole Rass. 50 points back to Brian Barnes, 59 back to Caden Anderson, who is not here tonight. Dan West Jr., 5th, 79 points back. Sean Breitzman, Kevin Smith, Briar Reynolds, Jeff Stabnow, Christopher White, Ryan Bloom, and Aaron Cooper unofficially right now. If we reset the playoff standings, John, that would be your 12 going to run for the playoffs.
Awesome. I am watching poor Kevin Smith right now, man. This guy started in, 3rd, 4th on that restart a few laps back. Has dropped all the way down to 20th right now. I mean, the strategy, I don't know, maybe they were looking at a fuel strategy. That might have been the case. I mean, they're looking at going to lap about 41, 42 on fuel, which would put them making 1 more pit stop after that. Maybe that's what they're shooting for. I don't know. But these guys, Bloom, Tidrick, Smith, and Dana Rogers are the ones that stayed out, and they're not having a very good time right now.
It is West, father and son, 1 and 2. The defending 2021 Cup Series champion in that Dragon Dubby Energy number 6 Toyota. Chris White in 3rd. Sean Breitzman, the 2020 Cup Series champion, in 4th. Jeff Stabnow is in the top 5. Cooper, Ritters, Harris, Vining, Daggett, your top 10. 30 laps in, 70 to go here at Michigan.
And what do all of those guys have in common? They got tires on the last pit stop. Tires are what wins the race, Cole. Name that movie, sir.
Days of Thunder.
Thank you.
Hands down, Days of Thunder.
Yes, sir.
Got a way to find you for building the tires. We ain't going to win a race.
These tires are what wins the race.
Chris White on the inside, looking to come out, father and son. Devin West first. Can he get him?
You know, we talk about the relevancy of sim racing versus real racing a lot. I mean, you and I have had these conversations several times over the last few months. Brings to mind a story. Can I tell a quick story?
I love stories. Go ahead.
Okay, so when I first started racing sim racing, I drove by myself, didn't have a team or anything like that. I did fairly okay. But about, I guess, 2013, 2014, somewhere in there, I started racing with a bunch of guys from up north in iRacing. And we had a test session one day, and I'm not joking when I tell you this. We did the exact same thing that we saw in Days of Thunder. We went to the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It was in the old Cup car back then, the 2013 Cup car. And he told me, here, I want you to run 50 laps your way. So I went out and ran 50 laps my way. And he said, now, here's what I want you to do. And he started telling me where I should be getting off the throttle at, how hard I should be getting back in the gas, braking points, all this stuff. Now, I want you to go out and run 50 laps my way. And I kid you not, Wesley, I was a second and a half faster at the lap, at lap 50 doing it his way than I was doing it my way. And my whole point behind that is that's how realistic this sim has gotten from way back in the mid-90s when we first started doing sim racing to now. They have modeled tire wear and tire damage and track wear, and you know, you'll see the buildup on the track of rubber. All of that has been modeled so realistically now that you literally get the exact same results from a driving style that you would in real life.
Yeah, I've said so many times that, you know, you'd be surprised how many, you know, racetracks or the virtual simulators that are at race shops at Race City, USA, and in Mooresville, Salisbury, Statesville, places like that. And you think of the first time Denny Hamlin won at Pocono, he'll tell you, man, I sat in the iRacing simulator and I learned the bumps and the turns and when to brake and when to throttle and all that. And that let him sweep Pocono, his first ever Cup Series wins at Pocono Raceway when he swept the whole year. So, I mean,
yeah. And that was
the technology has just advanced from then. That was back in what, 2000, you know, 2012, 13, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually, I believe it was 2006, somewhere in there. And that was the simulator he used for that was NASCAR Racing 2003, which was the predecessor
that's it.
of this platform that we use now, because those guys that built that sim when they left Sierra, which was the name of the company that made that, Papyrus.
When that Papyrus?
Yeah, that was Papyrus, which was a development company for Sierra. They formed First Racing, and that's iRacing now. And that's Dave Kamer and all those guys. So, and it's amazing technology. It really is what they do with the scanners and all that. They come in there and scan the tracks. They'll scan the race cars, every piece of the race car, every nut and bolt, everything, man. It's amazing technology. And it gives us what we're watching right now. These guys up on track right now, West boys up front, still nose to tail. You got White right back there tucked in their wake. And what these guys have done, if you look on the timing, man, they've moved out 2.5 seconds. Yes, I said that. 2.5 seconds over Stab now, who's gotten around Brightsman now for fourth, by the way.
That just goes to show you there is always a story. There's history behind any and everything that comes to fruition. Just like in real life, the same can be said about iRacing. He is John Muschin Jr. I am Wesley Outwood. We have Mr. Charles Wooten in the production chair, and we are live on the virtual iRacing simulator for iRacing on LSRTV from the Michigan International Speedway. For those that are listening, simulcast coverage on the Community Radio Network. And all the while, it has been the West family in the second part of this race after the opening 15, 16 laps was led by Cole Raz. Raz has had something happen to his car. He is all the way back in 16th and has not climbed. And meanwhile, we see now Stab now holding off the likes of Sean Brightsman, his teammate John, for the 3rd and 4th and 5th position on the racetrack right now.
I'll tell you what happened to Cole Raz. The same thing happened to Cole Raz that happened to Brian Reynolds, Brian Burns, and John Ottenbacher. They took 2 tires. It was a gamble. It was a legitimate thought process. Hey, let's see how 2 tires handles on this track. It did not handle well for them. They might as well have just stayed out and saved that set, because they fell back immediately at the green flag, at the drop of the green flag of that restart. So they're going to be looking to take 4 tires, I guarantee you, next time they pit.
Frustrating definitely for those guys, no doubt about it, obviously. And again, as you said, John, it's a gamble. And in this gamble, this gamble is probably better to take in the early going than in the late rally of the race.
Absolutely, absolutely. Even the guys that stayed out and didn't pit at all, we're talking about BJ Tidrick, Ryan Bloom, Kevin Smith, and Dana Rogers. And by the way, Justin Yee is on pit road right now. Those guys I mentioned, having not pitted at all, when they pit here in the next 4 or 5 laps, you know, they're going to go ahead and take their 4 tires, because they watched what happened to those guys with the 2 tires and how bad they drove afterwards. So they'll probably guaranteed to take at least 4 tires. I say it like they have a choice. Oh, I'm going to take 6 tires here, Wesley. I'll be right back. Anyway, I'm sorry, guys. It's been a long day for John T. Muschin Jr.
It's okay. Things happen. And all the while, we're closing in on lap number 40 here in just a few.
Dana Rogers is on pit road. He's one of those guys we talked about.
Round 20 tonight here at Michigan. And again, still a lot of racing left to go. I mean, we're not even
50
halfway
laps,
yet.
Yeah.
Well, it's surprising, though, John, is we're actually going to be 100 miles into this race coming up here in another 10 laps.
Yeah, and I mean, it's clicking off now. These guys, you know, we had that one caution with, unfortunately, BJ Duval, and I guarantee you, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. His headset or something died on him there and, you know, caused his issues. But Peterson's on pit road. Man, we got a lot of guys on pit road now. Raz is on pit road. Reynolds, John Ottenbacher. So these guys are this is all scheduled pit stop for them. And well, actually, not really for Cole Raz. He's just he's tired of his 2 tires killing him out there. He's gonna go ahead and pit now and probably take 4 this time. There's his right sides going on.
Yeah, he's taking on 4 new tires.
Yep.
Sure is.
Yeah, for sure. Can't blame him. Really can't blame him. In the meantime, out on track, we've got a fight here. You're watching Burke fending off Paulson down there on the inside. And down there below them, the 9 car coming off pit road now. It's Peterson. He's going to be a lap down, but he'll be all right. He's going to have a pretty good speed difference here, about a second or so over the guys in front of him. So he'll be able to pass them pretty quickly and easily, start making his way back to the front and get that lap back. Tidrick's on pit road now.
Green flag pit stops ongoing as John reiterated on. Dan Lowther back on the pit lane. And I'm wondering if this was in sequence because of obviously losing ground so fast to so many cars, and maybe they're thinking we're going to get a yellow flag. As now we see, obviously, Carl Burke and Stephen Paulison racing for position. Look at this going on to the back straightaway.
Oh, yeah. And you got guys coming off pit road right here, so that's going to squeeze things up a little bit. That draft, the 64 got coming down the backstretch. Excuse me, coming through.
Gotta love that 53 car, John. You know what it mimics, right? You know
Yes,
it's a
Smokey
throwback
Unic.
to.
Yes,
There you go.
Smokey Unic's
Yes,
old
sir.
car, man. And it even has Smokey's Garage as a sponsor. I love it. Some say that you could call Smokey Unic the godfather of creative engineering, as they call it.
And the sad reality is he will never ever. At least he hasn't yet.
No,
Been able to be recognized in the sport of NASCAR for what he did for the sport, for the industry, and to be put in the Hall of Fame. And that's a shame.
It is. And, you know, it's just, I don't know, there might be a time when the memory of NASCAR, you know, kind of fades. I mean, that's the problem is you got people who, that you know, founded NASCAR, created NASCAR, that they got a bad taste from Smokey's creative innovations, if you will, back in the day. And, you know, there might come a day when the memory of NASCAR isn't so long and that changes. I hope it does. He deserves a place in the Hall of Fame. He really, really does. Some of the innovations he came up with were astounding for a man back in that time, you know? Look at that
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But there's the 94 Garber's car. That's Garber. He's in 16th.
That's a Musso black paint job. Do you know what Musso black is?
Just a lot of black.
No, it's the blackest black, and it's iRacing's version of the blackest black there is. So what he's done here is he's put black layer on, and then his spec map completely absorbs all light. And if you ever see one of these cars in real life, it's the spookiest thing to look at because literally there's no light reflecting off of it. It literally absorbs light around it. It looks like a black hole with 4 wheels on it. Great race right here. You got Kevin Smith in that scene right there. You got the 25 car and of Ryan Bloom in there. You've got the 4 car. I think the 4 just came off pits not too long ago. Oh, no, he's still out there from 2 tires. Oh, Harris and Vining are in. Stephen Paulson's in. Carl Burke's in now.
Looking at them side by side. Smith up on the outside. Bloom will follow to the inside. Look at Garber. Protects that spot. This is for 10th, 11th, and 12th, and 13th because Chris Camary is right there behind him. And by the way, everyone behind those cars have come to the pit lane more green flag pit stops, and only 18 cars now on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's going to keep changing as guys keep ducking in. That number's going to get smaller and smaller. Now, my question is, we've got Dan West Jr., Devin West is out there. You got Chris White, Stadman, all these guys in the top 10, basically, that are still on track. They pitted on lap 17. They could literally go to probably lap 59 or so without having to pit. So I'm wondering if they're going to try and push that envelope to get themselves inside the window to make one more pit stop after that. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these guys are going to have to pit again that are pitting right now.
I find that interesting, John, because I'm thinking maybe one more pit stop. But if we get a caution, obviously, you know they're going to take advantage of that pit stop.
Absolutely.
And come in and pit again.
But if we go green, I would not be surprised, is what I'm trying to say, if the top 10 guys stayed out until lap 58, 59 or so, somewhere in that neighborhood, just to get them to the end of the race.
Well, I mean, what did you say? I mean, you said literally, by the way, we're coming up on halfway in a couple of more laps, but
yeah,
you said they could go on a fuel stretch for at least 43 laps. Well, if they can stretch it out to at least lap 60 or so, they can make that green flag pit stop, and they could go the distance. They could possibly go to the finish of the race.
Well, if they start conserving gas, just and not even that much. I mean, I'm looking at their lap times. If they lift a little bit earlier on each corner, yeah, they're going to slow down a little bit. Yeah, the guys that are a lap down are going to get by them. However, that's going to allow them to get to that magic number of lap 60, which will give them a cushion. All right? I mean, 42 laps of fuel, that's lap 58 by math, right? But man, as a driver, you want a cushion just in case we have a late, green, white checker or something like that. You want that cushion. So I would bet we'll probably see their lap time start dropping off here just a little bit, not much, just so they can make sure they get to that magical number of lap 60.
So, John, what do you think about lap 65 maybe? If you want to have that window to go to the distance in case you go to overtime?
No, the window, the magic number is lap 60. The half to pit, if they stay at the same pace, using up the same amount of fuel, is going to be lap 58, okay? But if they start conserving a little bit of fuel here, start, getting off the throttle a little early, getting on the throttle a little later in the turn, and can squeeze out maybe an extra lap or two to lap 60, that would be great. That would give them the cushion. But to be able to make one stop and then go the rest of the way on fuel is going to be lap 58. That's going to be the half to pit right there. And as I say that, Smith, Bloom, and Garber are now on pit road.
More green flag pit stops ongoing. By the way, we're halfway home. 100 miles to go in this 100-lap contest for the Michigan 200. What do you look at that? Look at this.
Yeah.
Now the pole car, or at least on the outside of the pole, under attack. Raz under attack now by all these other cars. The West family run down Cole. This will put 12 cars a lap down.
No, Raz just got by to get his lap back.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, Raz just got his lap back. Now, what we did see right there was a change of lead position. Now, I'm going to posit another theory for you. I'm guessing that the 5 car has been drafting off the 55 and saving gas for the last couple laps, correct? That would be the logical assumption. So now they're going to swap spots and let the 55 do some drafting to possibly save a little fuel. It's all fuel strategy, I'm telling you. That's what we're seeing right now.
And, of course, they're father and son and father.
Yeah,
they flip-flop those
they're
spots,
definitely,
so I totally get it.
Yeah, they're teammates, absolutely. They're family. So they're like, hey, Dad, I'm going to draft off you for a little while, and then in a few laps we'll swap spots, and you can draft off me, and we'll save a little fuel. And I'm almost willing to bet that that's what these guys are trying to do. At least these top 2. I don't know about the rest of the gang that's 2.5 seconds behind them, but that's what these guys are probably trying to pull off.
West, 1, 2, White 3, Stab now, Brightspin top 5. There is now 12 cars on the lead lap as Cole Raz on the tail end of the lead pack, and he just passed those leaders to get back into that position. And mind you, there is still a long way to go as well, as the field works their way. All of this happening with Vining. Reynolds now battling for position. Vining's Reynolds now in that spot. Here comes now that Justin Yee car in front of them. All the while been kind of quiet for the time being. As this happens, it's West, White, 1, 2, and 3. Look at Vining. Pretty good strong run for James Vining so far in the race, but he is a lap down, along with also Yee, Stab now. And here comes now Aaron Cooper. With now Aaron Cooper coming off of making a pit stop, obviously on lap number 55. Cooper's car joining them on the racetrack. He'll be at least one lap down in the 20th position. West, White. That's the way they stand. Cooper's car again coming back on course, that Toyota Camry. And Aaron Cooper, one of those drivers, is now we see the 1-5 Studios number 15, Chris Camary, coming onto the pit lane. He now pits. Teammates with Dan Lowther. Another pit stop, squills tires, his Toyota off of the pit lane.
That was a little early for him.
Yeah, I was gonna think that one caution so far to stop the race, and that's when Duval, who was out of the race, had problems. Simply locked up the car on the front straightaway.
Yeah,
on the back stretch.
Yeah, when he came through two there, I believe, like I said, I think he had a technical failure, lost his display there, which, you know, you don't really want to drive a race car at high speeds if you can't see where you're going. You know, it's not you know, a good idea. So now we've got the top 8. Now Troy Daggett's on pit road. So Daggett, he pushed as far as he dared to go with that 99 car. Are those donuts on his car? Did he get into somebody there?
I think
he missed his pit.
And he overshot his pit stall too. Troy Daggett, there's that beautiful car I was telling you about, John. Look at that nice car, man. Daggett's car, Haviland colors. It makes the it definitely makes the Haviland car look very different with it.
Yes, it does.
It's out. Looks really cool.
Well, we've got quite a gaggle of cars right here. You got Breitzman and Stab now trying to, I don't know if they're trying to fend these guys off or just get out of the way, but now White's dropping back. White was in front of these guys, and now he's going to scoot to the back here. Maybe, you know, looking to pit here in this next lap or so. Lap 59, we're in that window we talked about, Wesley. Right here, these guys can more than likely make it on this stop. This will be their money stop right here.
And mind you, John, this is a battle for third. Amongst those lap cars in the way, you've got a battle for third because there is Breitzman trying to run down Stab now. But at third spot, White right behind them. Look at Aaron Cooper, just pitted a moment ago. And then you've got lap cars like Reynolds and Burke, Cooper all around them.
Yeah, it's getting a little crazy for them right now. I'm sure they're very nervous right now because they've got to start looking at pit road. Lap 60, here we are. So they've got to be looking at getting down on pit road. So, but you got lap cars trying to pass them right here. Oh, this is going to be crazy. 3
wide, Breitzman in the middle, Stab now in front of him. White up high, almost slapped the wall. He saves it. He is now mired back behind those cars with 2 lap cars stuck going 3 wide with Breitzman and Stab now.
I'm sure that was a scary moment for the cars of Stab now and Breitzman because they're on older tires also. So their car's probably moving around a little bit more than they want it to. And like I said, they got to be looking at getting to pit road pretty soon here.
Burke, that car, 53, a lap down. There is 11 cars on the lead lap now. First car lap down is James Vining. If, big words, only 2 letters. If caution was to come out, he would cycle back around and get the free pass.
West is on pit road. Dan West.
Dan West Jr., Father West on pit road. Yes, sir. Now Ritters is on pit road. What a drive for Toby Ritters in the 23 tonight.
I'm really surprised that Devin stayed out. Dan gets in a great pit stop right there. Didn't miss his box at all. Looks like he's got a little right side damage there. You see that where the LSRTV's at?
Oh, yeah. And by the way, Caden Anderson says that we're wrong, John. We're thinking 43 laps. He says you can go 50 laps on a fuel run. So maybe he knows. Oh, White locking up the brakes, though. I want to see if he got busted for speeding or not. Maybe he got lucky. But Caden Anderson says he could go 50 laps on a green flag run.
Well, thank you for the input, Caden. Look, man, I'm just winging it here. I don't drive these cars. I was going by the data that VRS put out.
Right.
You know, during the fixed setup session. So thank you for the heads up. Appreciate that. Which changes the game. I mean, big time. You know, that changes the number that we were looking at. These guys that pitted on lap 17 can now stay out to lap 67. And as we say that, though, is West coming back down pit road? Does he have a penalty?
Now this is Devin West. This is Devin West.
No,
this is Sun West coming to the pit lane. This is Sun West.
Oh,
Dan West Jr. just pitted. Now Sun did.
I was looking at the YouTube. Sorry.
It's okay.
You know, that's a big delay for the YouTube from what we actually see. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. That was like, I'm like, oh my God, what happened to Dan West Jr.? Why is he back on pit road? Oh my goodness. He gets in, Devin gets in good to his pits right there. Doesn't slide the tires too badly there. Doesn't miss the pit box, I should say. So this is going to be it right here. We got, I think, Bryceman and Stabner are the last two left out right now. And that puts these guys good to go to the end.
Oh, yeah, to the finish.
To the finish. Now, what that also does, though, is they need to pray that no cautions come out. Whoa! My goodness. Wow.
Like that?
That man carries his in a wheelbarrow, I'm just saying. As I was saying, they need to pray that a caution doesn't come out.
Look at this. John Rass has already got back in the game now, man. He's up to 6th. He's 30 seconds back.
Yes.
He's 30 seconds back to the leaders, but he is back in 6th position, though.
And Fletcher is now on pit road.
William Fletcher
now still have yet to pit. They should be coming in any time now. And as they said, they're on pit road. So the teammates pitting together. That's what I expected the West guys to do. I really did expect Devin and Dan to pit together, but they did not. So we got Bryceman and Stab now on pit road now, the leaders. They're going to give up that lead here. And when it cycles back around, it's going to put Dan West Jr. back in the lead.
And all the while, Jeff Stab now overshot his pit stall. No. That's going to make him lose about 2 seconds. These errors on the pits just hurt the performance of what he does on track. Just has not been able to have the flawless drive this year for the driver out of Billings, Montana. Jack comes down, squeals tires. He's back on the racetrack. Breitzman has already left, and now he's got to catch up to him.
Meanwhile, on track, Dan West Jr. was cycled back to the lead. He's got Harris. What a run for Frank Harris in that 11 car. Up there in second place now as Devin West drives on by down low. That's a good-looking race car right there.
The 11 car? That's Frank Harris's car.
Reminds me of Tron, the movie Tron. Remember that?
The Transformers, you mean?
No, Tron. Oh my God, Wesley, you're killing me. You've never seen Tron?
Never seen Tron, sorry.
It's like the very first movie that ever had computer generated graphics in it from like 1984, I think.
No.
I
was only 1 year old.
Oh, go away. Just go away.
It's
Seriously? We've been talking about this.
Barnes inside, making the move on Burke and Reynolds. Sorry. Yeah, there is Ritters. Okay. Look at Toby Ritters, man. What a drive for him. No, yeah, John, I'm gonna have to try to look up that movie Tron and try to watch it sometime. Obviously. So.
Yeah, you'll get the reference then when you look back at Frank's car with that amazing black with the blue highlights, that light blue. That looks really good. got a good fight going on here with Toby. I don't know, is he trying to get these? Are these guys for position in front of him?
So the 12 is on the lead lap.
Yeah,
they're on the lead lap now.
My
We got
scoring
now
keeps
20
locking
cars
up,
on the
so
lead
I'm having a
lap
hard
now.
time figuring out who's where right now.
Yeah, there's 20 cars, 21 cars, 22 cars now on the lead lap.
So the only guys that can't possibly make it to the end now are Frank Harris, Cole Raz, Peterson, Tidrick, Vining, and a few other guys running back there. The names I really want to specify on that note is Cole Raz. This is a guy that's trying to pick up a win here, but he's going to be 10 laps short on fuel. But Dan West Jr., Devin West, Chris White, these guys, Brightsman, Stadnow, they're good. So, you know, that's what they do. They want to see this thing go green. They don't want to see a caution, though.
One yellow flag, by the way, that has halted the race, put the caution out, and that was when B.J. Duvall had problems on the racetrack on the back straightaway. Other than that, besides that single car spin, it has been all green. And John, we mentioned this. This was going to happen. We felt like there'd be a caution in the opening 20, 25 laps, and then we'd settle in for a long green flag run, and then green flag pit stop, shuffle up the field. Typical Michigan race, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, we're seeing a mix of different pit strategies, all that good stuff that you normally see in Michigan as we watch. Is that Raz coming back on pit road now?
It is.
Yeah, he's banking on there being a late caution. You watch.
Raz and Peterson are both pitting for that matter. And, mind you, they are teammates, super friends to Caden Anderson.
So, yeah, this is a strategy. This is a good strategy call. We'll see how it works out for them. They're going to give up a lot of track position, though. What this will do will give them a little bit fresher tires. Will make up a little bit of ground on those guys in front of them. But it definitely is going to let them finish the race on fuel. So what they're betting is there's going to be a late race caution. I don't see it, though. I think these guys are spread out enough right now. And obviously they've got great car control out there. We haven't seen anybody really lose control. I wouldn't say B.J. Duvall lost control.
Wow.
He just lost vision, so he had to park it. But other than that, we haven't seen anybody really get too squirrely here, losing control at all. So we'll see how this pays off for these guys. Frank Harris is back in. Now, we started this race with 29 cars on track, and 4 of them have dropped out. Justin Yee, Dan Lowther, Jaden Ledbetter, and, of course, we talked about B.J. Duvall with his issues. So those 4 are out, but we still have 25 cars in the race and 23 of those cars on the lead lap at the moment.
And by the way, remember last Monday night, what a wild finish at the start-finish line. They were wrecking. Cole Raz crashes between him and Lake Peterson to win the race when it was all said and done last week at Indianapolis, of course. And now we see what happens here at Michigan as we close in on the final 25-lap stretch of this race here. 28 laps to go. There you see Raz inside, Brightsman outside. Peterson will follow. You see how strong those cars are. Once those cars have just come off the pit lane to get those new tires, it shows quickly, John. I mean, they quickly start picking off these slow traffic machines.
Oh, yeah, man. It feels so good to have those 4 fresh rubbers on there, man. Now, Raz and Peterson here, they're about a half a lap behind our leader, Dan West Jr. So they've got a little bit of ground to make up right there. But I think they'll be okay to get themselves unlapped. How much further they proceed in the standings, I don't know. In the meantime, Vining and Carl Burke are also both on pit road. These are all guys that we knew wouldn't be able to make it to the end on fuel, so they're all going to go ahead and get that pit stop out of the way now versus pushing it all the way as far as they could.
And mind you, 50 laps on a fuel run, as Caden Anderson was reiterated on, is all good. But those tires, John, they're going to wear out before 50 laps, bottom line.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Father and son right there with one another, which you have it any other way. The LSRTV CRNs. Number 5 and 55 out of Shelton, Washington. Devin West, Dan West Jr., 1 and 2 on the racetrack.
These are the only 2 guys I guarantee you on track right now that absolutely 1,000% do not want to see a caution. They have almost a 3-second lead over the third-place car of Chris White.
Chris White.
And, you know, they're cruising, man. They're on cruise control right now. They don't want to see this caution. They want this thing to go all the way to the end, 25 laps from now, and maybe duke it out between themselves for the win. What do you think?
I agree with you completely. And by the way, can we mention this as well? There's a lot of teammate racing going on here tonight. Father, son, West and West, the LSRTV team. Then you've got Brightsman and Stab now, Team LSRTV, right there with one another. Okay. Then you've got, of course, the driver. Barnes overshot his pit stall. But you've got Raz and Peterson, super friends, right there with each other, climbing up the ladder. They're going to get back on the lead lap here. Raz is the only car. He just passed him. And here comes Peterson as well. Put down 14 cars in the lead lap. Now, John, if you are Raz and Peterson, you're wanting to see a yellow flag come out.
Yes,
because that puts you right back in the sequence of running these guys down again.
1,000% yes. Absolutely what they want. I don't know if they get it, but that's what they want. They're on the exact opposite end of the spectrum as the West boys right now. They want that. They will sacrifice family members for a caution right now.
I mean, you could have just said they give an arm or leg. You know.
I know. There's a higher level of desire when you're getting family members involved.
14 cars now on the lead lap back straightaway. They go to turn number 3. It is Raz now, along with Peterson. And as I mentioned, John, these teammates hooking up with each other, first and second, West and West, father son, ironically. Also, then you've got Jeff Stab now and Sean Brightsman for 4th and 5th, right there with one another.
Hey, I tell you what, I want you to put this out. So last time by, Cole Raz turned a 40.007.
Yeah.
The same lap for Devin West was a 41.7. So it's a 1.7 lap second, 1.7 per second. Good Lord, I will get this out eventually. 1.7 second per lap difference between those two that just passed up the leader. And it's not going to shrink by much because, you know, they will plateau eventually on tire wear. But if they keep that up, they might actually be able to get back around to the West guys. It would be fun to watch how this progresses with these guys. Because like you touched on a few laps ago, you know, a guy out there with, say, 20 laps on his tires versus a guy out there with 50 laps on his tires is going to be a huge difference in performance of the car.
Oh, no doubt, hands down. And by the way, we are closing in on 20 laps to go next time by when they come to the start-finish line. 20 to go here in Michigan.
And don't go in there, folks. Those 20 laps are going to blow by real quick. We're doing lap times of 41 seconds right now. So I'd say in about 15 minutes, we'll know how this is going to all turn out. I like that 72 car paint job. Can we focus in on that just a little bit? That
Yingling. Yeah.
That's a good-looking paint scheme, man.
Like the color of the car. B.J. Tendrick, only win in the Northwest Racing Series came June 2020 during the pandemic at Darlington. That's been it.
Hey, man, you know, he's a little overdue, we could say, right?
He definitely needs to get off the schneid, as I always say.
You know, I love working with you, Wesley, but that giggle that you've got there is the Joker. That's all I hear in my ears. the Joker. I expect, you know, laughing gas to come spraying out of my monitor speakers or something now. As we watched the 25 car, wait, he was really off the pace just then. What was going on with him? Not 25, I'm sorry, Ritters.
Ritters has already climbed to 7th.
Yeah, but he was just, it looked like he was off.
Loose there, yeah.
That might have been what it was.
Oh, they got a car in the wall.
Who's that in the wall?
Dana Rogers, car in the wall, 07.
Keeps
Rogers'
it going
car
straight,
in the wall. Lets the outside safer wall barrier be his friend, and he keeps it going, and we stay green, no caution. 18 to go at the line.
Tell you what, I know the West boys didn't want to see that. They don't want to caution at all. Hey, I'm watching the West guys up here. Oh, look at this Raz now making a move on that 25 car.
Aggressive moves, mind you.
Cutting his way up through the field, man. Remember, these guys, their tires, even though they're wearing them out by running as hard as they are, they're still making up a lot of ground. He and the 9-car Peterson back there behind him, his teammate, like you said, moving their way up to the field now.
We call this dissecting the prey, John.
Yes, yes.
Inside, Raz now with Smith. That will put now Cole Raz in 11th. Peterson trying to get back around Smith to catch up with him and hook up with the 10. His teammate, 17 to go. He's got to run to the bottom as they go to 3.
He's going to run to the bottom, get around Smith, and look at that. Raz just ducked on down there to give him the help from the arrow right there. Give him a little help with the draft to get by the 00 of Kevin Smith. By the way, track temperature's down to 100 degrees. That's going to help with some of the grip, cool this track off a little bit. I noticed the cloud cover, so I wanted to check what our track temperature is doing. It's dropping. It's coming down to about 100 degrees. It started off at 111 during the race, the beginning of the race, I should say.
Yeah, let's take look at now Smith down on the bottom of the racetrack. Look at Ryan Bloom behind him. And now Bloom and Smith also on the lead lap. Last 2 cars on the lead lap, mind you, but I was going to say, they're in the top 14. 14 cars on the lead lap. 1 car, first car a lap down of the 7 or 6 that are a lap down that are all on the racetrack include Harris, Barnes, Paulison, Vining, Reynolds, and Camary. Burke and Fletcher also a lap down. 22 cars at least a lap down. And the rest of them, for the most part, John, of the 30 that started are out.
Yeah, we've got, 4 cars out? Odenbacher's on pit road now.
I mentioned, remember Odenbacher? He had that crazy scare earlier in the race as well when he lost control of his car coming off a turn 2 exit, but never brought out the caution. 15 to go.
Meantime, up front, it's still Devin West with his father right behind him, about 0.3 of a second off his tail. Behind them by 3 seconds, you got White, the 6th car. You got Sean Breisman and Stabnow. Those 2 guys are teammates. They're 4.5, 5 seconds behind those guys. 6th place is Cooper. Ritter's up to 7th now. Tidrick 8th. Garber 9th. And Daggett in 10th. But look out, Raz and Peterson are tracking the top 10 down. They're only a few seconds back. Call it, if you will, 6 seconds back behind Daggett right now. Sorry, 5 seconds behind, yeah.
Devin West on the course right now, leading the way. He has no wins this year in the Northwest Racing Series Cup program. His 10th start tonight. Of course, 1 pole, no wins. He does have a truck win at the Bristol Dirt Race. His best finish so far this year before tonight is a tie of 4th. 2 4th-place finishes at Nashville and the Bristol Dirt Race back in June and April of this year.
You know, I'm watching the West family here in the server, and I was thinking maybe they were going to cruise along until about 5 laps to go, then maybe start duking it out with each other for the win. But now that you've mentioned the fact that Devin doesn't have any wins yet, how many wins does Dan West Jr. have?
Dan West Jr. sitting 5th in the point standings in 15 starts, 16th tonight. He's got 2 wins. 2 wins that came at Pocono and Richmond.
Now, I can't help but wonder if, does Dan West Jr. just sit back and let Devin take the win? What do you think?
Maybe. Here's the thing. I think that Dan West Jr. is going to be making a run for the playoffs. Devin West is not, at least in the Cup Series. He just hasn't been able to run as much races. I mean, you do the math, John. You count it up. If he wins. There's
also the question of, can Dan West Jr. even catch Devin at this point?
Yeah, that's true.
He hasn't been able to really reel him in again. He's been able to get within a couple of tenths, but maybe 2 or 3 car lengths back there. But I'm also watching them race each other, and Devin's doing everything he can to break the draft from Dan West Jr. behind him. And by that I mean, you've seen it at Pocono, you've seen it at Indy. when they go down the front stretches, those long stretches, they'll snake down the straightaway trying to break the draft of the car behind him. And that's what he's been doing. By the way, John Ottenbacher has retired from the race.
Billings, Montana, number 89, gone from the race so far. Tough break for him for the LSRTV CRN team. By the way, as we mentioned, Dan West Jr., 15 starts, 16 counting tonight, 2 wins already this year, Pocono and Richmond. And then you have, of course, in 30th in the standings, John, only his 10th start, 9 until tonight, Devin West. That's it.
Wow.
And so with 10 laps to go, that's something you got to take in consideration. And as remember we mentioned earlier, you might win a race, but that's not enough to make the run for the playoffs.
That's very true. And as you were talking, Tidrick gave up a top 10 run to come down pit road. So move Raz up to 10th and Peterson to 11th. And they have closed the gap on Daggett in the 99 car. They're only about 3 seconds off his back bumper now. So they're definitely moving up to the field. I just don't think they have time really to get up into that top 5 and duke it out. So without a caution, I think it's going to come down to the West guys, Dan and Devin up there in first and second to decide who's going to win this race.
Nine laps to go. There's the leaders. In front of them is Frank Harris, who would go a lap down if they ran him down. 14 cars in the lead lap. Everyone behind them praying. Praying.
For that yellow hanky to make an appearance.
Praying for the yellow flag. You're exactly right. That LCR last, or LRC, late race caution is what I meant to say.
How about Clifford, the big red dog? Toby Ritter's up there in 6th place. Looking real good, man. Great run for him tonight in that very unique Budweiser paint scheme.
Back straight away, Devin West. Dan West Jr. reeling him in. It is father coming after son as they come to the line here at a turn 4. 7 to go in the Irish Hills of Michigan.
I don't think Dan West Jr. is going to give anything to Devin. I think he's going to make him earn it. That's what it's looking like. He's just having a hard time getting up to his bumper. Good top 5 run for Stab now up there in 5th. Brightsman, 3rd place right now. Great run for him. Sean's been having some rough luck in the truck series, so he's looking to have a good run tonight in this Cup series. Maybe give him a little momentum coming into the truck race Thursday night.
7 to go now, 6 when they come to the line. And believe it or not, the West family is pulling further away from Sean Brightsman. Chris White, Jeff Stadler, and Sean, attaboy I got to give an attaboy. Sean Brightsman recovering from bad luck last week. He's in third. And then, of course, look at this. Dan West Jr. capitalizes. Harris under attack by a lap car. Devin West on the bottom. Harris gets in the way, and now Father West will take the lead. He's looking for that 3rd win of the year.
I'm not real sure if Devin got into the back of Harris or not, but he might have some damage on the front of that car. Let me check.
Well, 5 laps to go, and now Dan West Jr. And the question you asked there, John, would father move son out of the way?
That's
and he
not
wants
what I
to win.
said. That's not what I said.
Well, would father try to get a win?
Yes.
Instead, and that's exactly what's happened here. Yeah.
Yeah, but he had some help. Let's be honest here. I don't want to take anything away from Dan West Jr. at all, but I mean, Harris got in the wall right in front of the leaders when he should have not been where he was. I don't know Frank Harris. I'm not bad-mouthing. I'm just saying, if I look up in my mirror and I see the leaders right there, and I know there's no way in hell that I'm going to go all the way around this track and be able to fight with them for the lead, I'm going to get out of the way. And that's what he should have done. And instead, he got on the wall and cost Devin possibly a win here with that. Because as we come to 4 to go, well, actually 3.5 to go now, Devin's lost a lot of ground here. I can't tell if he got damage or not on the nose of his car. I don't think that he did. But still, that's killed all of his momentum, you know. And now he's got to deal with Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith in that 0-0 car. We'll see if he can get back by it. We're gonna find out. We got 3 to go now.
3 laps to go. Dan West Jr. now, the leader.
The thing is, Devin's had clean air on his nose for this whole time, pretty much, except for when he had to deal with lap cars bouncing off walls there. Now he's got to try and figure out how to get around his dad with that dirty air that car is going to cause. So we'll see if he can manage with that. But he's running out of time here, Wesley. We're coming in, off of 4 right now. It'll be 2 to go next time by.
It is 2 laps to go when they come to the start-finish line. And believe it or not, Devin West is closing in on his father. 4 miles remaining here in the Irish Michigan International Speedway, and he has reeled him in big time down into turn number 1 and 2. He's there, John.
He was there, but he drove that in way too hard. Had to get on the binders a little bit, make sure that car was going to turn left. See if he can't get back up to him now on the back straightaway here as we watch Smith now under fire from Harris. And that's for position, by the way. Smith being the last car in the lead lap, Harris right behind him. And we'll watch the fight for the lead right here as we come through 3 and 4. Coming to the white flag this time by Wesley, and Devin still not able to get right up on the bumper where he needs to be to make that pass going down to the turn.
Coming to the CRN, 1 to go. White flag in the air, and by the way, Jeff Stab now has got around Chris White. Here comes Devin West looking for a lead on Dad. One more time into turn number 1 and 2. They're side by side for the final time in Michigan.
Side by side coming through 2. Down low, you got Devin. Up high, you got Dan West Jr. Family fighting it out here. Coming off 2. Devin loses just a little bit of ground. Going to try and side draft now. Going down the backstretch into 3 for the final time.
Dead even as they came off the back straightaway. West now. Father West hugging the outside. The inside lane belongs to son Devin. Devin gets back in front of him. He'll pull up in front of him. He drifts up too high. Dan West is boxed. He can't go anywhere. And Devin West, 30th in the point standings, will at least say, I have at least won 1 race this year. He holds off Dad and the rest of the pack to win at Michigan.
Wow, what a great finish. Dan West Jr. got into the wall coming off of 4 right there. That's going to kill his momentum and let his son cruise on by and take that victory. But I'll tell you what, I ain't taking anything away from Devin right there. Devin earned that spot, earned that win, chased his dad down, drove that car harder into turn 1 than I would have thought possible at this point in the run. Because remember, these tires they've got on are 50 laps old. Did an amazing job getting by his dad there, kept it clean. That's the best part of that whole thing that just went down there, Wesley. That was a clean pass for the win.
A lot of respect given by those drivers, no doubt about it, when it's all said and done. And now they're going to line them up and celebrate here at Michigan International Speedway as Devin West picks up the win. It is first win this year. Of course, Devin West in his 10th start this season, picking up the victory. He was 30th in the point standings, but he's got that victory. And now for Devin West, it will be out of his 111 career starts, John, it will be his 105th start overall, his 14th career win, along with 53 top 5s and 66 top 10s for that driver. And look at the results now as Devin West is the winner. Dan West Jr. second. Sean Breitzman will pick up third. Jeff Stab now 4th. Chris White the top 5. Toby Ritters, Aaron Cooper, Cole Raz, Lake Peterson. That strategy just did not work. They got mired in the top 10 along with Troy Daggett here at Michigan.
Coming in 11th, Kevin Smith in that double-aught buckshot car. B.J. Tidrick in the 72. Frank Harris 13th in the 11th. Brian Barge 14th in the 4. The 333, James Vining coming home 15th. Stephen Paulson 16th. Briar Riddles in the 12 car comes home 17th. Carl Burke 18th in the 53 car. Chris Kamir in the 15 car comes home 19th. Rounding out your top 20 in the 028, William Fletcher.
21st will be Casey Garber. Ryan Bloom 22nd. All these drivers a lap down. Multiple laps or more are out, including Brett Johnson 23rd. Dana Rogers, John Odenbacher, Justin Yee, Dan Lowther, Jaden Ledbetter and BJ Duvall all out of the race. The race saw one yellow flag of the night, and that was when Duvall got involved in an accident on the backstretch. We're going to step away real quick. When we come back, we will grab a word with our top three and get you set for the finish line. Post-race wrap-up at Michigan. Congratulations to Devin West. He wins tonight. Hey, welcome back to Michigan International Speedway. We're going to wrap it up very quickly and grab a word of our top three finishers, finish line, post-race wrap-up, and Devin West picking up the win. We'll talk to him in just a moment. Of course, we'll holler at Sean Brightsman. Sean, what a way to redeem yourself after some bad luck in Indianapolis and the Cup in the truck, and a solid top three podium for you in this car. You talk about the race.
Yeah, Brett's Petite Toyota Camry was pretty good. Being a fixed setup and having good teammates to help coach you through the race is always a benefit. So overall, a great race. We didn't have quite the West speed, but we were a top 5 car. Got a third. I'll take it. I'm pretty happy with it. So.
Sean, long race tonight, but like Wesley said, this is some redemption for you, I guess you could say, after a rough week, really a rough few weeks in the last couple weeks that I've been watching, especially in the truck series. Are you looking to take some momentum from tonight into Thursday night's race in the trucks?
Absolutely, John. You're not wrong. It's been a rough few weeks, so I'm looking hopefully to turn it around with tonight. And top 4 there covered by Team LSRTV and all that. So, man, what a night. I'm looking forward to Thursday.
What do you take, final question, would you take from this race tonight to prepare for the truck race on Thursday when you come back here, Sean?
Turn more than 10 laps before practice.
Oh, okay. That definitely will help. Before I let you go, thank your sponsors.
Just got to thank Wright's Boutique, Central Welding Supply, everybody at LSRTV, CRN, and everybody on Team LSRTV, and everybody from the Northwest for joining us here tonight. So thank you, guys.
2020 Series champion from Puyallup, Washington, now from Tucson, Arizona. It is Sean Brightsman. He'll finish in the number 3 position here tonight at Michigan. Runner-up of the race, it is, of course, Dan West Jr. Now, Dan, you've already got 2 wins this year. It looks like you pretty much got a lock on going to the playoffs, just like Sean Brightsman. But your take of racing your son and having fun and just a very this race tonight had so many different scenarios, and I think a lot of people were trying to play different strategies, and at the end, you and your son prevailed to being on the top.
Yeah, Wesley, thank you. Yeah, it was great. You kind of get into this pit strategy thing like Cole and Lake did, and you never know if it's going to play out. And I felt like tonight it actually was in our favor. So it was a blast racing with Devin and having the teammates up there with us. It was just good racing all night. I felt like we only had one caution, so it was a good showing. The main thing was just trying to take care of the tires, and I thought I was doing a good job at the end there, and I thought I had something for Devin, but he did a better job than me.
Hey, Dan, John Mushin here. How bad did your heart stop when Harris got in the wall right in front of you guys there coming into that race?
Well, I was talking with Devin a little bit on the radio, and I said, watch for that, because when Harris went by us, he was on obviously fresher tires, and you could just see him getting tighter and tighter as we went. And it was an unfortunate situation. I mean, Frank doesn't ever want to change the outcome of the race. But yeah, I didn't really know which way to go there. And fortunately, Frank kind of held onto his car and drove it down the middle, right? So Devin and I could split him. So, it was nice to see the faster car win because it looked like I was going to end up winning that race because of that.
Well, listen, Dan, it was a great race. Good to see you take that second spot. I know you were definitely hungry to try to win. That's one thing we can say about you and Father Son West. You guys are competitive. You will battle. I mean, I know you just didn't give that to Devin for sure.
Definitely not. I would never give him a race. I mean, I have too much respect for him to do that. So he just got me this time. So I really had a move there. I felt like on the last turn, and I went in there, and it just didn't turn like I thought it was going to. So congrats to him. And at the end of the day, it was a fun race and good night.
On to the next one. Thank your sponsors, bud.
LSRTV, CRN, Effective Web Solutions. Like Sean said, we got great teammates. So, whether it comes down to pitting and we can bounce ideas off of, I think that helps me a ton. And I appreciate them very much. So, thanks, guys.
That's Dan West Jr. from Shelton, Washington. He's already got 2 wins this year. He's solidly top 10 locked in the points. No doubt about it. You're going to hear him in the round of 12 for the playoffs unless something crazy happens here. We go to Victory Lane now and picking up his first win this year on the series. 13th now in his overall career for the Northwest Racing Series is, of course, the young man, Devin West. Devin, congratulations to you. Man, I know that obviously your work schedule makes it very difficult for you to be able to run on Monday night, sometimes Thursday. You ran more Thursday races than Monday events, but what is it like to just get back in here and win, but missing so many events in so many weeks, but quickly just adapting and being able to compete with these guys and race the way you did? Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, Wesley. It feels good. This is such a competitive league, right? And fortunately, it's actually school now. Fortunately, it's keeping me away from all stuff. So no, be out for summer, be able to run every single week, Monday and Thursday, and be competitive is a ton of fun. Like I said, I haven't won in a long time, it feels like. So I definitely felt good to get this one tonight.
Hey, Devin, John Mushton here, man. Great run tonight. I'm gonna throw the same question to you that I threw at your dad. What went through your mind when you saw Frank get in the wall? I was watching that, and I couldn't tell if you had any damage. It didn't look like you did, but it had to make your heart stop for a second there.
Oh yeah, coming to 5 to go, and I felt like I had Dad, covered off a little bit. And so to see Frank in the wall definitely scared me a bunch. I stayed out of him, fortunately. I was a little bit frustrated, but anytime, me and Dad are racing for the win, and one of us is gonna win, there's really no lose-lose situation there. I'm happy either way. So yeah, it scared me, but we've had some pretty bad luck last races. Despite being able to, I feel like, a win the last 4 races I've been in. So finally cap it off was pretty good.
I was going to say that, obviously, you're not going to have the 18 races minimum needed to make a run for the playoffs, Devin. But, I mean, is that the perfect medicine to at least get a win this year?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think to get a win at all in this league is a big deal. I mean, so many guys, fight for just one win each year, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to be in a position, I feel like, most weeks to go get a win. So, yeah, obviously, I'll be running, half the schedule for the rest of the season too. So just get wins here and there is always feeling good.
All right, man. Well, before we let you go, we want you to thank your sponsors. Congratulations again.
Yeah, thank you, Wesley. First off, just Effective Web Solutions, Kenny's Custom Hardwood, Motorsports Distributing, because they'll help me out in real life. And I've been there for me quite a while. So, and then obviously you guys up in the booth, you guys do a great job. We're going to go back and watch the broadcast, and then obviously Sean, Jeff, John, Brett, they all do a great job. The top 4 is pretty cool, so yeah.
Yeah, been a while since he's gone to Victory Lane, but tonight he gets it done. He gets his 13th career Northwest Racing Series win and his first win this season. Driver out of Shelton, Washington, and the number 5. And by the way, a sweep 1, 2, 3, 4 if you count Jeff Stabnow for Team LSRTV CRN in tonight's race at Michigan. But it's all said and done, Devin West picking up the win. John, your final thoughts, man? We're going to wrap her up and get on out of here. We got the trucks back here in Michigan on Thursday. It's a pretty good race here.
Great race tonight. A lot of interesting strategies played out tonight. Some heart-stopping moments for our leaders towards the end of the race there, but definitely a good race. And hey, man, let's do the trucks. Same track this week at Thursday night race, and I'm looking forward to it.
And remember, by the way, the trucks are on Thursday night, this upcoming Thursday, simulcast iRacing on LSRTV and the Community Radio Network. In addition to that, obviously, next week we get ready for Richmond. Less than 4 weeks left to go before the run in the round of 12 for the race in the playoffs for the Northwest Cup and Truck Series. As always, follow them at Northwest Racing Series on Facebook. For, of course, Jeff Stabnow, Charles Wooten, everybody at Rocket Media and iRacing on LSRTV in production. For John Mushkin Jr., keep your thoughts and prayers, of course, to our buddy Justin Prince. Hopefully we can have him back soon. Everybody does a phenomenal job. It was a great race. John, thank you for your time. When it's all said and done, Devin West winning here tonight at Michigan. Thanks for tuning in. Replays will be up in a bit. God bless you all. Thank you for watching.